I really want to know more about your journey. You know, you've got a wealth of experience and you've got a super cool niche. And I want to know, how did you get there? Where did it start?
Right now, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so this is my 33rd year in the
Wow.
business. And I got into the business back in the day, like other people got into the business through, I had burned all my other bridges in life. I was mucking out stalls for a living, 25 stalls a morning, making $125 a week. And I drove a car that only turned right.
Mm.
And I had a friend come to me and say that she was going to real estate school and it cost $125. And then she closed me by saying that she would drive. And
Wow.
so I was kind of, backed into a corner. So I went, and I just decided that I didn't get into real estate with any intention. It was kind of like, has it come to this kind of a deal? But I decided for myself, and I was a younger human then too.
Right.
I decided for myself that I was just going to draw a line in the sand. All right, here I am, I'm here, and I'm going to do this thing. And I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to be, and I still call myself a student of the game. And, I went into, it was a little mom and pop shop. I went into the office, I copied what everybody else did. I wrote note cards. I just like, this is it. I listened to cassette tapes. And then got to, and so then got to go to, I went to, a friend was going to a seminar, guy
You said cassette tapes. That just took me back, right?
No, I went from the mom and pop shop to broker Remax because she had a really good cassette tape library. And so I could borrow all of her cassette tapes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Have I aged myself yet?
I'm
And,
with you.
yes, I
I'm
do
with
still
you
have
right
an
there.
AOL email address where I send all my junk mail. But and then I went to the seminar that I somehow, got the $200 or something together. It was a guy named Joe Stump. And he
I remember him.
referral by referral only. And
Mhm.
he had this coaching program, which was, you would listen to a voicemail and then leave a voicemail. And it was a couple $100 a month. And I had a credit card by this time. There wasn't any good or anything, but I had one. So I went to the back of the room and gave him my credit card. And I figured, if this thing works, they'll get paid. And if it doesn't, then sorry.
Yeah.
So, one thing led to another. And I pretty soon became a speaker for him. And so my business was sort of the crash test dummy for him, and went around to the country speaking to other realtors about his systems and processes. And I got on this kick early on about building a real business in the business of real estate. This is before anyone had heard of assistants or anything like that. And I've been on that mission from that day to this. And I'm so thrilled to see how the industry has evolved, and the people that are getting in, the young people who are getting in with intention, and the entrepreneurship that's happening today. I mean, I went to Remax not only because of the cassette tapes, because it was the cutting edge brokerage of the day. Now I'm talking about 90s, and worked myself up to the top, whatever in that, and built up. And I built up a back before I had never heard of the concept of buyer's agent, but I knew I didn't want to work on Sundays. So with talking to Joe Stump and some of the other people, we put together this idea that somebody else could work on Sundays. And I remember I'm doing a seminar for him, and I'm up on stage, like 600 people there or something. And I announced that I'm no longer working on Sundays. And they were like, stone her, she speaks heresy. And so that's how kind of began on my quest to build a team and build a business. And then, and through the course of that, I met a couple of other very aggressive another realtor and lender, and we formed a coaching company called The Core. which is still in existence today, and that's for building a business for high producing realtors and lenders.
Mhm.
Then Gary Keller was courting me to have a market center. I was
Yeah.
in West Palm Beach, Florida, and this back in the day when he had 18,000 agents, so or around 2000. And in fact, he has a book out that's called Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Yeah, I'm very familiar.
So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
involved in the I was involved in the masterminds of that book. And back when
Yeah.
a Gary Keller mastermind was 35 people in a flip chart.
Wow.
And I never did did the market center because it was just way too much paperwork. But I opened my own brokerage, modeled after his own market center in Austin.
Okay.
And had that for a while. And then, I drank the Kool-Aid and really became convinced that Keller Williams was the cutting edge brokerage of the time, in the early 2000s. And so I aligned with them, and sold my business and was an owner of a market center, and then became CEO of a division of Keller Williams, which was the predecessor to what is now their agent expansion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And got to fly. I was in Reno by then. Got to fly to Austin every Monday and spend the whole day with Gary. It was amazing.
Wow.
Talking
Wow.
about real estate and other stuff, and a ranch he was buying out in Fredericksburg, and got to go see the property. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And then came back and did some more in Reno. So that the market shifted. Remember 2006?
Oh, yeah. Sure. What was there?
And so that project got put on hold. And so I went back to some coaching, and then found a guy who was selling ranches. And he could sell ranches, but he couldn't put a business together to save his soul. And so I said, you know what, I'll make you a deal, Pete. I'll build you a business. All you have to do is go out and sell the ranches, and I'll build the business. And so this maybe 2009, we went from zero. I'm talking about a cardboard box of files to about 50 million a year in ranch sales. And that's when the market was slow. So I discovered, and this is where you see the horses behind me. I'm a horse girl.
Yes.
I'm a horse girl. I always have been. But I really developed a love for ranches, land, the lifestyle, and most especially the people who enjoy that. The people who enjoy that lifestyle and enjoy horses and enjoy some elbow room around them they're my tribe.
Yes.
My homies, my tribe.
Your homies in your tribe.
My tribe, horse people.
Yeah.
And land people. So that was a 5-year gig. And at the end of that, I decided to come back to Keller Williams and really focus on property with elbow room. And that also frequently moves into the luxury space. If you want to buy a property around northern Nevada that has a nice home and you have your horses, you're definitely in the luxury space. So, well, actually, I take that back. You don't have to be in the luxury space. I can get you anything, but frequently you are.
Yeah.
And so that was the course of my business. And I just, Tony, I got to a place where, I don't know if it's not called a glass ceiling, but I was feeling stagnant. I was feeling stale. I was feeling the need for some more zhuzh in my life. And so I started looking around, and I had been exposed to EXP back, at the very, very beginning, and stupidly made the decision that I didn't understand it, but I stupidly made a decision it wasn't going to work. And so I came back around and I looked at looked at what my options were, always explore. Education is one of my values. And I came back and did a deep dive on EXP. And, like we say, once you see it, you can't
unsee it.
Can't unsee it. And I thought, you punking me. What's really? And then I understood, the disruptive nature of the model, right? This is the model of the future and the model of the current, and it's the disruptive technology. And so I made the switch.
What year did you make that switch?
2 years ago in
Okay.
April.
Oh, same time with,
Is it-
so that was in 2021.
What's 2 years ago? Yes, 2021. Yep.
Okay.
I made the switch, and I got aligned with some pretty interesting people, and I guess, Tony, you kind of say, beware of what you ask for, beware of what you wish for, because I wanted a little more zhuzh, and I wanted some fresher ideas, and and what I found, and I knew they say real estate is local, and I knew that I was sort of in a local bubble, but I had no idea really what. And all this time I've gone to every all of the KW family reunions, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I get out, I look, I'm learning and good, but I had no idea the amount of entrepreneurship that exists at EXP,
Yeah.
the level of thinking, the resources I would have, the real, local bubble I was in education wise. And, with still, it has been a full on, blam of ideas.
Sure.
And it's given me the zest and the enthusiasm to build one more business of real estate.
That's beautiful. That's
And then
so beautiful.
because of the multiple pillars of income,
Yep. Yep.
I will have income to do what I want, after I get this business built, which is to go out with a friend and have lunch and sell them a $2 million horse property. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. There you go.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. That's fabulous. It's very interesting. We have a lot of similarities between our careers. And I too was with Keller Williams a long time. I was the broker of record for KW in Santa Monica, Pacific Palisades, and Malibu.
Nice.
And I had about anywhere between 400 and 600 agents at any given time, right?
Goodness.
So it was really, I too was very attracted to the culture, the education. We're constantly learning, and I'm a junkie for information and for knowledge, right? So this is very much, I got to a point. I haven't got as many years as you. I've got 10 years less than you. I'm 23 years, but I got to that point where it was like I was in that stale space, just still. And, I was clearly in my 60s. So it was like, I needed that juju. What can I do differently? And I knew I was going to retire from the broker of record position, but I wasn't certain as to what I wanted to do. I could just, I'm my own broker, so obviously I could do my own thing, but I don't like doing things alone, right? I like family, I like culture, I like people, love people, and I love collaboration. And I will say that once I made the decision, and I too was introduced to EXP back in, oh my goodness, it had to have been 2011, right? A couple of years after they launched.
Trying to think.
Yeah.
When it was for me.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because at the time, everything is timing, right?
Oh, for sure.
At the time when I first was introduced to it, number one, there were two things. Number one, I was good where I was. I was good. I had a sweet arrangement.
Me too.
I love my position. I used to do a lot of short sales. When the market crashed, I went into that, distressed property specialization.
Mhm.
And I became the short sale queen at that time. So I used to go to market centers and teach and sit on panels. We used to do at family reunion every year, never missed a family reunion. We used to have mega camp, we had all these things, and it was exciting. It was fun, and it was great. And then there came a point where it was like, I was like, okay, there's got to be something more here. There's got to be something else
Mhm.
for me at this point in my life.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I completely align with your experience, your history, your journey, if you would. And I just think it's fascinating that we are in an environment here where it is the future. This is the future. And that, I think, is what was the first time I was introduced. The person was not an influence on me, so I wasn't, drawn to it. I was also not in a space. I was good where I was at. But now, the next time it came around, it was with people who I'd been working with at Keller Williams for years. And we were very, we had high regards for each other, high respect, and we were great collaborators. And when it was shared again, then I did the same thing. I had to do a deep dive. And when I looked at it, I had options to go to various brokerages, but I was attracted to the cutting edge of the technology, the education. At first, I will admit, I was a little taken aback by the whole cloud base.
Me too.
I was taken aback because I'm used to having my office. I like my office, right?
Me too. I'm in an office right now. I'm a go to the office girl, and that when I first heard that, it's in this thing, in the world, and your computer, and you don't have to go to an office, and it's I'm like, that's never going to fly. You're going to have weak people attracting weak people, and they're not going to be connected, and and that's why I said no to it. But happily, I was very wrong about that.
Yeah, that's right. Same thing here now. And I do have my office, but I don't go there as often. And since the pandemic, and I want your take on this. Tell me your take. I really think the pandemic did a lot of good for us in many regards. Unfortunately, a lot of people suffered. We lost a lot of people.
But clearly we're not talking about that part of it.
No.
We're talking about what it's done for the way it's sped up our ability to grow professionally. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it was more positive than negative at the end of the day. And it has changed the face of how we do business today. It has changed the face of how we can save time and save energy and save space. So here we are. So tell me, do you have a team? How are you working with? Tell me what your makeup. So I do. So Tony, for me, when I was deciding about EXP and of course, I think everybody at this point knows a number of people who are involved with EXP or who have spoken with you about EXP. But I made a business decision, and for me, the important thing was to have someone who had gone before and who could ease my transition. Because I don't like all of the breakdown that comes with the change. I'm not a company hopper. I'm a long-term gal. So I needed that level of support. And I'm a go to the office girl. I really like to go to the office and work when I'm working, and then go home. And of course, that you have a transaction that has a special need, it's a different story. But I like to go home and I'm off I play with my horses, and so it's a separate space for me. So I also wanted to have office space. And I found that person who is now my sponsor in EXP.
Okay.
And it's been a wonderful experience. So I do go to the office every day. I have an assistant who is also here, just an amazing young man, works for me full time and goes to college full time.
Wow.
Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
That's
really
awesome.
something. And then I have a couple of people who are working with me as buyer's agents. I had always said I'm not going to build a team again, and I am not a now the thing is my sponsor here at EXP has 50 agents working for him, and it's a cold lead driven business.
Yeah.
And that's not my model. That's not what I want. My business is a warmer lead. I mean, you always have to bring in some cold leads to make them warm leads, right?
Sure.
You can't just not.
Yeah.
But, I would say I'm 80% warm, 20% cold.
Mhm.
And, I'm going to grow it up to a few more agents and to a point where the business can continue on without my day-to-day involvement. I'm going to come in and say hi and kiss some babies and then go off and play with my ponies or whatever, work with select clients. And so that's my vision for what I'm accomplishing here.
That's very interesting because I too, we have clients that stay with us, right? And so the majority of my business is referral and past client. And I do a little bit of lead generation for probates and things like that. I'm a heavy in the probate space. However, I'm building that for my team so that they have the access to the leads and to the business, and they can, so they basically can run the real estate side of my business. And I am really focused on, I love to coach, and I love mentoring, and I love speaking, and I love doing those things. So today my vision is really about how many lives can I impact here? How many people can I help and change their lives,
Are you sure we're not twins?
I know.
Should we go back and check our birth certificates?
We need to. I'm telling you, Kathy, when I did my homework on you, I said, this woman is me. She's just like me. I mean, it's amazing. I've listened to your interviews and we're definitely on the same page. There's no question. And I'm
goosebumpy.
I know, getting all goosey. We call them the goosies.
Got the goosies.
I got the
goosies. A case of the goosies.
Yeah, but I really resonate with your journey, and I just commend you because you're so authentic and so genuine. And we don't find that in our industry. That everybody is so. A lot of people are just, I don't know, just out there hustling because they've been conditioned to feel like they just got to make money, right? But there's so much more to this thing. There's so much more to it, and it's not just about the money. The money is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like generating good money. I like spending it too, but but at the end of the day, it's like I
have a horse addiction.
Yes. Oh,
hello, my name is Kathy, and I'm addicted to horses.
Oh, and you know what? I get it. I actually grew up in Yakima, Washington. Have you ever heard of Yakima, Washington?
I have, but I couldn't put a pin in the map on it.
Yeah, it's about 144 miles east of Seattle.
Okay.
And it's actually a reservation, Yakima Indian Reservation. So my parents, when I was 5 years old, we relocated and moved to Yakima, Washington, and we had a ranch. 12 acres, right?
Nice.
We didn't have a
Perfect.
whole bunch of horses, but we had one
Perfect.
horse, and we had cattle, we had
What,
chickens, we had,
what was
you
your
know,
horse's name?
Trish,
What was it?
Trish.
Trish.
Yes, and it was named, my sister's name is Trish. And so they originally, when they got the horse, it was for, my sister is 11 years older than I am. So I was 5 years old. My sister was 16. So she spent her last year of high school, she spent in Yakima. But they got the horse, they named the horse Trish, and that was her name. And we had a good time. We had a really great time. But yeah, that's a whole nother story. That whole journey in the Pacific Northwest is a whole nother journey. But I did grow up on a ranch. So that might be that's connecting us as well. So
These are some of Nevada's wild horses behind me in the picture.
really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what does a day in a life look like with Kathy Courtney and her horses?
Well, I get up, I like to get, I don't know if it's the age or what, but I like to get up early, you know,
Okay.
5 or 5, get up 5.
Yeah.
And get my coffee and sit in my chair and read, meditate, journal. That's my thing. And if I
Girl,
don't
you
get
are
to do that, you too?
yes, that is exactly correct. 5 a.m.
5
And
a.m.
I do a lot of meditation, a lot of decreeing, a lot of prayer, and a lot of chanting and journaling.
Ooh,
Yeah.
chanting.
Yeah. Work with a lot of sound meditation, you know.
You
So,
do.
and this is the first thing, like I don't interact. I have 3 cats.
Yes.
And I used to have a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and
Nice.
but I've always had cats and dogs, right? But I don't have any dogs today, but I have 3 cats, and they are the love of my life. And I've had cats all my life. So the
Well, you're tearing up. What's that about?
well, because they're you can't hear Gizmo. Gizmo is outside of my door right now, and he is screaming like, "Let me in!" Can you hear him? He's so funny. She said, "Let him in." Girl, listen, that's a whole nother thing. You know, they have to be all up in it. My business. I have a business. It's called Gizzy Ventures LLC. That's my LLC, and that's my cat. My cat, he owned my apartment building. That was Gizmo's building. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm addicted to cats.
Well, I was watching a Netflix about some Gunther, a German Shepherd named Gunther, who a countess owned, and she left her fortune to Gunther. So Gunther owned everything. So it's kind of like Gizmo, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Are you gonna leave the building to Gizmo?
Well, I tell you what, I just sold the building. Okay. So he's a little pissed off about that. But
get him a kitty condo.
But I told him, don't worry, we're gonna get something else very cool. So anyway, it's fun. It's fun. I've never had any children, so I've got my cats. Yeah.
I have one child, a daughter.
Yeah.
But I say she's like having 3. She's like a 3 in the one. Her name is Anna. You don't meet Anna. You have the Anna experience.
Oh, okay. So it's probably similar to her mom, though, right?
She's much more outgoing than I.
Really?
Much more outgoing.
Okay.
Yeah. She's my little
and is she does she do the real estate with you?
She did. She's 26. She got licensed when she was 18.
Good for her.
19, something like that. And she bought her first 2 duplexes when I think she was 19.
Okay, good for her. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So you guys probably could do a lot of have a good time.
We do. Yeah. You know, mommy daughter stuff when you're growing up, but we do We went to horse shows together, her whole teenage year, and
Nice.
had a little RV and spent a lot of time fighting over, the bathroom, that
Of
kind of stuff.
course.
Yeah. Mommy
That's so
daughter bonding.
Oh, so I want to get back to your experience now that it's been 2 years with EXP.
Mhm.
What would you say when you made that move to EXP? What would you say has been the most, what has been the biggest difference, I guess is the question I want to ask her. What has been that's a change, and what would you say has been significant with this change?
Well, with real estate companies, we talk a lot about this word culture, right?
Yep.
What's the culture of the company?
Yep.
And people most frequently are going to stay or go with a company based on culture.
Yep.
What I found at EXP is that the culture here is collaboration.
That is the name of the game right there. You just took the word right out of my mouth. That's
Yeah.
I've been thinking for the last, it's been resonating with me over the last literally 6 months. This collaboration thing is off the chart.
That's how you and I met each other.
I
mean,
know
you and
it.
I we were both with Keller Williams for how long? And we never ran across
Yes.
each other.
Never ran
So,
out. Yeah.
and it's through this thing called collaboration that
Yeah.
we, came across each other's path. And it's just, and I don't, share your experiences with me, but if I'm on we meet a lot on on Facebook groups or a place called chat, workplace chat. And
Yeah.
if somebody has something,
Yeah.
like somebody that, I wouldn't know them if they bit me on the ankle, right?
Mhm.
Has something that is, I thought, oh, that's a piece, there's a tweak, there's a something that I need, and I'll send a DM or just post right there. I said, would you
Yeah.
mind sharing it with me? And they're like,
It-
and it's been like, sure,
Sure.
bling, you've got
Yeah.
the whole system in your
Instant.
email.
Instantaneous.
No, it's
Instantaneous.
crazy.
It is
And
crazy.
it's the caution that I would give to anybody in any company is, I call it SOS. It's
Mhm.
the shiny object syndrome. We're all
Exactly.
faced with shiny object syndrome. So it just be very intentional about what it is, the next step that one needs for your own personal business,
Yep.
wherever you might be, new agent, seasoned agent, whatever. And what's the information that I want? And there is always a vehicle to find it. And what has been my experience, without exception, sure, there are exceptions, but when I've reached out to someone for a thought or an idea or a system or some help on whatever it is I'm working with, it's shared immediately and without any sort of catch or cost, or
It's all unconditional.
it's all, thank you, that's the word I was looking for, unconditional. Yeah. So that, what was your question?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, what is the biggest thing that kind of has been a difference from where you came, right? And I have to agree with you 100%. It's this collaboration thing. It's so powerful. And the other thing that's powerful, like minds, everybody is all about helping others. It's like everybody's about, all the way from the top, like Glenn Sanford is leading the pack here. And his whole objective was to make this agent centric and make us all owners and give us multiple streams of income opportunities and give, right? And that's the power. That is the power of EXP.
And it's taken on a life of its own too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Because it's just, I've yet to meet anybody who wasn't like that. I mean, that's going to sound kind of silly, but I'm thinking about it. And sure there are people that,
Yep.
you know, are holding things tight to the vest. I just haven't run across them.
Yeah, same here. And what about your experience in the world? Tell me about your experience in the world. Have you spent much time in there?
In the world. I thought
Yeah,
you meant like my entire life. I was going
But you
down a
know-
different, I was taking a different highway there.
wait a minute. This is what's so wild about it. The world, the EXP,
So
the virtual
the
world.
EXP world. I will
Yeah.
tell you my experience of the EXP world. Even after coming to EXP, I thought this is silly. You go around and you got like avatars, and so you go into the world. And so I had an assistant create my avatar, which has
Yeah,
a
me
cowboy
too.
hat for some reason. I'm like, you just look, we have to do this, just do this. I mean, just whatever, do it. So, but I knew, and I, you know, basically knew, you know, I knew how to open it. That was it. But I'm not,
Yeah.
so I'm maybe 6 months in, something like that. And I've got zero experience, and I needed my copy of my errors and emissions insurance for what I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I was on a Zoom call of some sort where I didn't have to interact like this, and they needed it right now. I'm like, oh. I said, okay, I'm just going to bite the bullet. And I opened up the world, and I trotted my happy little aviator ass up to the information booth and said, I need a copy of my errors and emission insurance. And she's like, oh, hi, Kathy. Sure. Go here and there and ask them. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? She goes, go in the upper left-hand corner. There's a drop-down tab. Like, okay. So I did it. I went over, and I don't know about you, Tony. They have places, rooms you can go to in the world, and your little aviator, whatever those things, avatar,
your avatars. Yeah.
There's a reception. It says take a number. I'm like,
yep.
Take a number. Okay, here we go. It's like the DMV, right?
Yes.
But it's been my experience that my number has always been 1.
Mine too.
Your number is 1.
I've never been any other. I've never had to wait.
I've never had to wait. Yeah.
Once you pull the ticket, it's like,
and all of a sudden, blammo, you're talking to somebody. And I said, hi, I need a copy of my errors and emission insurance. And they go, okay, and it pops up in my email. I'm like, anything else I can help you with, Kathy?
Wow.
No, thank you. So I was in and out. I got in and out and got my my thing in. It was under 5 minutes. And I know in my old office, it would have been walk to the broker's office, see that the sign that the broker was out. Now, I know you were a broker of record, so I'm not talking about you. I'm talking and then this particular broker like talks, so you got to chat with him for 20 minutes. And then it's like, and then track down 3 different people. And like within a day or two, there you had it. Yeah. And I was just like, really?
Yeah.
And so now I do it more frequently just because it's fun. And sometimes I just go in there to, poke around and see what there is. I mean, we've got, it's the most amazing thing. There's education. There's like 80 hours of education. Now, I'm an icon agent, as I'm sure you are. And, part of our giving back for that, the privilege of being one is to teach a class. And so there's a class on anything you might be working on your social media. Okay, well, here's just go in and go through the menu of classes that you can attend. We have our state meetings in the world, and I go to that, every once in a while, but it's a lot better than the way I used to have to go to the meeting. Is it's so time it's time effective of what it is. It's efficient, but
time efficient. For sure.
Well, and I like effective more because it's whatever you want to accomplish, you're going to get it accomplished in a short amount of time. And so I think it's a fantastic tool.
It is efficient. It's effective. And there's another E it is, but I haven't figured it out yet. But I'm going to tell you, I was shocked at how quickly I can get answers. Like I reach out to the brokers all the time for different things, and it's like instantaneous. instantaneous, you know. And also with onboarding, that was probably it was a little gnarly in the beginning, but now I've got my assistants putting together a very succinct onboarding process so that we can continue, and we're always smoothing things out, you know. That's the beautiful thing too. The company is continuing to improve and make things better and tweak. And so it's just, the experience has been really, really amazing. And so that's really cool. Now, are you, we're in the same mastermind group, and I love this mastermind group. What do you love about it?
I love the energy of the man. His name is Nick Krem.
Nick Krem, yes,
who put this together. I love I call him he's like a ferret on a double cappuccino, this guy. He's got more stuff going on. And so just, you know, I kind of live off of his crumbs of, you know, in energy and ideas. I love the fact that I've met people from all around the country and all different stages of their career. And what we do as a part of, you know, the main focus of this mastermind group is master classes. That they put together for us, you know, in terms of doing the organizational work that we can share with everybody. No,
doesn't matter what company they're with.
It doesn't matter what company you're with.
It's
no
open.
strings attached. No, you know, fill out this form and we're going to hound you. And now we have your email address and that's it for you, buddy. None of that, you know, and the quality of the people that we've had is just mind-blowing.
Top shelf.
Yeah, really, the best of the best. And I have taken to, you asked what I do in the mornings, and what I've taken to do is, because my assistant Carter said I can't watch the news in the morning.
That's right. That is the best advice. Take it.
So best advice is not to watch it before you go to bed.
Not to watch it. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
So instead, what I do is I do replays of the master classes on my iPad while I'm in my bathroom. While I'm getting ready. And so it's just, you know, this little piece here, this little piece there, and it's been amazing. And I know the people that we've invited to join us in them are getting great things too. Oh yeah.
I've had so much positive feedback from the attendees of these master classes. And, you know, some of them, and what I'll do is I'll pick up the phone and call them and say, how'd you enjoy the class? You know, because it's information that all of us can benefit from. And there's so many ideas and so many different ways to do things. And so you really get inspired by all of the different things that these master thought leaders, I call them, these thought leaders are bringing to the table. But really, they're just people like you and I. We're just sharing our stuff, right? So that's very powerul.
You know, and the one more thing I'll add about that is that there's just, I mean, I think any realtor is going to get, you know, 50 emails a day with a click on this link for this thing or that thing.
Oh yeah.
And the people who are being the speaker for the master class, they're the real deal.
Yeah.
There's not a phony baloney in the bunch of them, you know, and they're not there to sell you anything. They're just there to share your experience and their experience, and, you know, hope you get something out of it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty, I love it. And I belong to about 3 or 4 of these mastermind groups. And by far, this group is off the Richter scale with information, with the energy. Like you said, the first thing, it's energy, and it's a lot of collaboration. That's what it is. It's a lot of interaction. So, and it's stimulating. That's how powerful it is. It's so stimulating because there's a lot of interaction and collaboration. So it's pretty cool. So tell me about your revenue share. Tell me about this whole revenue share aspect of the company. What's your thought on that?
Well, it's frankly one of the reasons I decided to make the move. And because being a woman of a certain age,
Yes.
I
Yes.
really want to focus on my pillars of, to be able to focus on my pillars of income.
Yes.
For, the future.
Yes.
And so, listen, I love Keller Williams. Gary was a personal friend. Spent a lot of time with him there. I have no shade to throw whatsoever.
Right.
But I still get profit share checks.
Yep.
from Keller
Same
Williams
here.
for my
Me
15
too.
years there.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I thank them very much. That said, I have a group of about, I'm new at all this, maybe 39 people who are, I know and support their businesses and watching them grow
Yes.
So I'm at the beginning of this whole process, but I just had a family emergency, let's just put it that way.
Okay.
And so I had to stop, drop, and roll.
Yep.
And my brain was elsewhere for about a month.
Yeah.
And my business is where it was, but I didn't have to worry about anything. We all have expenses. I didn't have, I wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I wasn't, like, and I don't know how specific you want to be. It just has been something that has been a wonderful part of it. You and I are also alike, that we enjoy the coaching aspect of the business. I get so much more from coaching than I give. I think I give a fair amount, but it's just the coaching process is really beneficial for me. So having the people that I can be aligned with and help is very gratifying. And the monthly check ain't bad either.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's funny you say that was one of the reasons that you came over with decisions that you made to come. I was really intrigued with the technology and just the whole being ahead of, the what's the term I'm looking for?
Ahead of the curve?
Yeah, just ahead of the curve. That was what really intrigued me. And I really wasn't interested in the revenue share initially. Okay. It just wasn't the top of the list for me. However, now I have a completely different perspective on that. And that is because of my age. It is because I look at the fact that in real estate, we've never had an exit strategy. Not a substantial exit strategy. We were conditioned to acquire real estate and income properties and have passive streams of income coming through the real estate acquisitions, right? But you got to have a whole lot in order to, it all depends on what you're looking to generate, what you're looking to have from a passive income perspective. But this is the only platform I've ever seen where you can literally generate 6 figures of passive income on a monthly basis. And And it's just a matter of sharing the gift, right?
I'm doing
So,
some math here while you're talking.
yeah, okay. I'm interested to see what this math is about.
So, you know, if you're thinking about having, so one should have multiple streams of passive income, right? According to
right.
Gary Keller, it's 7.
Yeah,
Ditto Oprah Winfrey, ditto
yeah,
Warren Buffett. And one of them should be cash, right? Investment, stocks, that sort of thing.
yes.
And what they say, so have you ever heard of being born with a silver spoon in your mouth?
Oh, yeah.
But you know what it says on the handle of the silver spoon?
Mm,
Never touch the principal.
mm-hmm.
And a financial advisor will tell you that you should plan to live on 5%, income off of your
Yeah.
principal and never touch the principal.
Yeah.
So if you have $1 million saved up and you're going to live on 5% income, that's $50,000 a year, right? More commonly known as $4,100 a month.
Mm,
Right.
mm.
So your goal then is to save $1 million,
Yep.
in addition to your houses and that thing, or 2 million or 3 million or 5 million, whatever that might be, or have a passive stream of income in that amount.
Yeah.
So my question is which is easier to do, right? To save $1 million or to help some people?
Wow. That's a powerful analogy, Kathy.
I think, anybody's, I think the decision-making matrix, if you're going to change, is number one about your own personal business and what your own goals are in your personal business and how it'll help your business.
Yeah.
And then kind of look at the fact that we all have been given ownership in this company, which is why I believe that one of the reasons why this culture of collaboration is so predominant.
Yeah.
So, they give you stock. I don't even know why they give you stock. I mean, I get a little thing that says, oh, you got a stock award.
Yeah.
Do you want
Yeah.
it? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And so they give you stock. And then if you do certain things like do a number of transactions like you and I have done to become icon, then they give you your
Yep. Then you get stock
your
there.
cat back in
And you
stock.
get your
So
cat
now
back.
it costs
Yep.
you nothing to be there. And like, that's pretty exciting for me.
Yeah.
Right? Oh,
Yeah.
you're going to pay me to be there. I'm not paying you. Okay. So I like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like yeah, like your process was, oh, and there's this other thing. Should you want to?
Right.
P.S.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a
Make your
PS.
decision based on your business.
Mm.
And then P.S. There's this whole other thing. If you want to be involved with it, you can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to, but if you want to. And the thing that is so powerful, it's compounded. It's just numbers, it's a numbers thing, and it just multiplies. And once you get to a certain point, it just takes off, and the rest is history, right? Where do you find a platform that offers you these types of benefits in our industry? Like I said, we've never had, who was it? It was Chris Wanier.
I love Chris.
I love Chris too. And he said, when's the last time you went to a retirement party at your real estate office?
Right.
Never.
They call it a funeral, right? That's the joke, isn't it?
Oh God. Yeah, that's crazy. But here we are, and I feel so blessed. And I'm just so grateful that you know, there's just so many, considering all the craziness that's going on in the world, we are so blessed. And our job is to bless as many people as we can, right? And to gift and to empower and motivate and inspire as many people as we can. It's like, how many people can I make a difference in? How can I help you? You know what I mean? It's just that simple. How can I help you? So,
Well, a question that the Nick asks us in our particular mastermind group
yeah,
is, you know, ask us again, do you really believe in your heart of hearts that EXP is the best place to be as a realtor?
yeah,
You know, because he doesn't really, you know, but everybody's like, absolutely, abso-friggin-lutely.
mhm.
And these are all people who've had experiences. It's just, it's kind of hard to articulate to somebody else who really hasn't experienced it, but
Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's all good. It's all good.
it's all
I
good.
just love you. Can I just say, I just love you, Kathy.
I love you back at you. Can't speak,
Back
but I
at
love
you.
you. I'm so glad we made the connection, Tony. I really am.
I am
And we're
too.
both, you know, we're not far from each other.
No,
I
and
have a feeling, you know, I live here on purpose.
okay.
And I live here because of the lifestyle that it affords me. It's 85% of our state is public lands. And
Yeah,
I moved from South Florida on purpose
okay.
because it was all about, you know, you need another pair of shoes, you need another better watch or whatever to be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't, I mean, look at me. I'm working in my hoodie, okay?
Right. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Your whole vibe is just off the chart and so authentic and genuine and heartfelt, you know? So I'm really grateful that we've been connected. I know we're going to see each other in person.
We
I
can
just
always
know
meet in Vegas.
we
That's
can
it.
meet in
Happen
Vegas.
between.
Do you attend many of the events?
Mhm.
Well, we'll see. What about the shareholder summit?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Okay.
We will see each other there.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here.
If not
Thank you.
before.
If not before, exactly. Thank you again for your generosity and your energy. Love it.
And
And
thank
we
you for
will.
asking me. I feel honored. I am
Oh,
I am honored.
oh, thank you.